2K Sports presents the NBA. Monday Night Basketball is coming right up. So don't even think about switching over to football. This is Kevin Harlan with Doris Burke, Steve Kerr, and Clark Kellogg. Here in Brooklyn, we have an interconference matchup with the Nets looking to create some cheers for their home crowd. They traveled to Sacramento last time they faced the Kings and came away with a win. Right now, they're in charge of the season series up 2-0, looking to go for 3.
And you know what was most impressive? They've wasted very few possessions in that game. They ran their offense close to perfection.
That's what we call a mute button game in front of a hostile crowd. They never let the fans get into it, had them on their hands the whole time.
Let's take a look at our starters for Sacramento. Dominique Wilkins out there with Bird, and it's Michael Jordan, then it's O'Neal, and it's Johnson in at the point. And that's how you exploit a gap in the D, I guess. Huh?
Yes, sir. No soft finish there. Major power.
Wow. He knows an opportunity for the highlight reel when he sees one.
He had his choice of finishing moves there, and you just got to love the fact he went old school with the finger roll.
Here's World B3. He's getting his first free throw attempt of the night right now.
At the line for your Nets.
And he knocks down the first one.
2 shots.
And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time.
You know, one of the things the Nets did last year that was pretty impressive, they found value in a number of players who had been overlooked by other teams in the league.
Now here's Heinrich. Dominique Wilkins unable to get his shot to go. Banked in off the glass.
And pleasure to watch him work at that end of the floor.
Last outing for Sacramento, they won that game against the Washington Wizards.
Yeah, and in the end, it wasn't even close. I mean, they had points coming from all over the floor.
Boy, they were locked in and ready to roll, and offensively, they just had a rhythm that was impressive.
The Nets shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the night.
But you take a look at the numbers, guys. They're shooting 74% on the season.
Yeah, it's been a very frustrating season for them in that regard, guys.
2 shots.
Good on the second free throw. The Kings have gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game. 3-pointer, Bird. Another 3 for Sacramento.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any agenda.
It's hard to overstate all the points they've scored on assists today. Beautiful to watch.
Mason against Bird. Heinrich a screen on Bird, and Bird comes to help. And so here's Sacramento. The shot by Heinrich no good.
And excellent interior defense there. Good rotation.
No doubt about it, Steve. He's a real presence inside. Takes up a lot of space.
And here we go with World B3. 5 points in the game. Stolen by Bird. And now here's Johnson, the fast break chance. Oh, and they get in the way of the alley-oop. Not to be. Good play defensively. And that concludes the first quarter of play. Kings lead by 4. We'll get right back to the action when we return.
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
Now the second quarter getting ready to start up. And a moment now to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from for the Kings.
Well, they've definitely had the hot hand from the three-point line so far. Always nice to start out like that.
They've been distributing the ball really well tonight, too. I mean, a decent number of assists so far for them.
On the floor for Sacramento, Drexler is out there with Elijah. Then there's Payton. Then there's Irvin. And it's Iverson in at the shooting guard.
You know, sometimes you don't like to see guys pull up from three-point range on the break, but for him, with nobody on him, that's a pretty good shot.
Here is Mason. Passes it to Splitter. Rebound by Drexler. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, over to you.
Thank you, Kevin. As everyone knows, Amari Stoudemire has had to battle back from his share of numerous injuries, and he switched to a vegan diet in order to help stay healthy. He said it was tough, and when asked which foods he missed the most, he said, "I love chicken and I love Chilean sea bass. I missed it, but I wanted to stay strong." Guys?
Interesting. Thanks, Doris. Shot clock at 6. Takes a three. And the Nets miss again.
Well contested shot, and they did an excellent job of not fouling the shooter.
Defense is about effort and commitment and discipline. He's a good defender because of those things.
Nets trail by 7. Clark David struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a little bit of cottonmouth here. Dry spell for sure.
And stolen by Irving. Here's Iverson and the powerful one-handed slam.
Guys, that's simply superb. Ball pressure, a run out, and then a dunk in transition.
Exactly, Clark, what they wanted. The aggressive defense to lead to.
Yeah, points in transition.
Yeah, that's why you want to make the other team feel uncomfortable handling the ball, because you can get easy points out of it at the other end.
Here's Payton. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. 1 second separating the shot clock and game clock. That's good.
You know, it's really hard not to notice the difference in the passing of these two teams today.
Yeah, look at the discrepancy in the assist column between these two teams.
Stoudemire against Drexler. Here's World B free. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Free's got 9.
Really tough to get that shot off with the size differential there. That's not an individual matchup he's going to win every time, especially in the post.
Very well done. I didn't think he had any business operating down there with the big fellas.
Can't get it to go. And so that's the end of the first half. The Kings on top. They lead by 8. We're going to step away briefly, but get you right back out here for the start of the third quarter after our halftime. All right, the second half beginning in just a moment. And the second half about to start here in just a few moments. While we've got a moment, let's set the floor. Brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up for the second half. Setting the floor for the Nets. Heinrich is out there with Free. And there's Anthony Tolliver. Then it's Ennis Cantor. And it's Mason in at the 3, the small forward.
Kirk Heinrich in his 12th season out of Kansas. Remember covering this guy in college. Still a quality defensive combo guard. At 6'4", tremendous IQ and anticipation, really helps him at the defensive end. And he's, I think, a little underrated offensively, too.
And the Nets with possession here. Following. Larry Bird's free, and it's going to be out of bounds. The Nets will retain possession.
16 seconds.
Here's Heinrich, and he gets it to go. And Heinrich playing big numbers for the Bulls last season. Steve, his shooting percentages have started now to tail off over the last few years.
You know, I think his defense is really what keeps him on the court at this point, Kevin. Offensively, still a good playmaker and a decision maker, but he's not going to be a big scorer.
Amari Stoudemire is checked in for Anthony Tolliver. 1:02 left in the third. Stoudemire outside, tipped away, and taken away by Johnson. They're running. And out of bounds as the Nets gain possession.
Well, we've got a moment to see some numbers for Enes Kanter. 12th in shooting percentage. And in terms of rebounding, he's in the top 20 in the league. So a guy who can really take care of the boards for you.
You know, talking again about his field goal percentage, Steve, I mean, that's really been a strong suit for him, an area of strength in his game. And he's basically been efficiently and reliably scoring.
The Brooklyn Nets come into this one after a win against the Indiana Pacers.
And it was the role players in that game, Kevin, that really led the charge. You know, the guys who normally don't score a lot, they came in and really contributed.
A total team performance, Steve, the kind you need if you're going to win on the opponent's home floor.
Free passes to Mason. Here's Free. Heinrich with it, averaging 6 points per contest. A three ball. Free can't get it to go. Here's Wilkins. Oh, the buzzer beater. Amazing.
How about the killer instinct on display there?
Wow.
Fantastic.
He didn't even flinch, just buried it like it was any other shot. Unbelievable.
And a chance right now to show you our State Farm assist of the game.
Well, today it comes from one of the men in the middle. Kevin, let me tell you, anytime you get a big man who can pass like this, it really changes the way you can play offense, diversifies your offensive attack.
Let me ask, who is the best passing big man you played with?
Luke Longley.
Oh, the Australian.
Yes, big redhead, good passer down on the low block.
The #1 pick by the Minnesota Timberwolves. Unable to get the ball in bounds. They get called for the... Five-second violation.
Well, it seems like he's gotten a little loose with it since halftime. His fingers may be a little slick or slippery. He went from no turnovers in the first half to quite a few here in the second.
Kings leading now by 10. On the floor for Sacramento. Johnson is out there with Pippen.